Mom and Emily sat outside by the fire, the warmth of the flames keeping them cozy as the cool autumn breeze rustled the leaves. The sky was dark, and the only light came from the flickering fire and a few distant stars. Emily, wrapped in her blanket, looked up at her mom with wide eyes.
Mom, can you tell me a spooky Halloween story?
She asked eagerly.
All right, let's see. How about a story of a girl named Lily? One Halloween night, she decided to explore an old mansion at the edge of her town. The house that everyone always whispered about. The one they said was haunted.
Emily shivered a little but nodded.
Go on, Mom.
Now, Lily wasn't like most kids. She loved Halloween.
Mom continued.
But it wasn't the candy or the costumes that excited her. It was the thrill of being scared. Every year she would tell her friends that she'd go inside that spooky mansion, but no one believed her. So that night, with everyone else trick-or-treating, Lily put on her ghost costume, grabbed her flashlight, and set off toward the mansion alone.
The haunted mansion?
Emily interrupted, her voice a mixture of excitement and nervousness.
Well, that's what they said. The house had been abandoned for years, covered in ivy, its windows cracked and its door barely hanging on its hinges. But Lily wasn't afraid. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet, Mom?
Emily asked, inching closer to her mum.
She made it to the mansion, and with a loud creak, she pushed open the front door. Inside, it was even creepier than she imagined. The floorboards groaned under her feet, and the air was thick with dust. As she wandered through the house, her flashlight flickered, and she started hearing soft whispers coming from upstairs.
Whispers? From who?
She didn't know, but they were getting louder. So, Lily did what any curious girl would do. She followed the sound, up the creaky staircase, past old portraits that seemed to watch her as she walked by. The whispers led her to a door at the end of a long hallway. It was cracked open, and Lily could see a faint light inside.
Did she go in?
She pushed the door open, and inside the room, she saw them. Ghosts. Dozens of them, floating around the room as if they were having a party. They were dressed in old clothes, their laughter echoing softly in the air. Lily froze. She'd never seen anything like it.
Real ghosts?
Emily whispered, her eyes wide.
Real enough, but before she could think, one of the ghosts turned and looked right at her. It smiled and floated toward her, saying, "Would you like to join our Halloween party?"
Ah, the vegetables are done. Now I can enjoy this cup of tea before heading to bed. Now where was I? Oh yes, I remember. Emily gasped and asked,
Mom, what did she do?
Lily panicked. She didn't say a word. She turned and ran as fast as she could out of that room. The mansion was huge, and every hallway looked the same. No matter how many doors she opened, none of them led outside. Lost, running from room to room, the whispers following her.
She couldn't get out?
Not at first. Her legs started to get tired. She was panting, scared, and confused. Finally, after running through what felt like endless hallways, she collapsed onto the floor of one of the rooms. She was exhausted. She lay there, breathing heavily, waiting for the ghosts to catch her.
Did they catch her?
When she opened her eyes, everything was still. The room was quiet. No ghosts, no whispers, just the sound of the wind outside and the firelight from her flashlight flickering on the walls. She sat up, looked around, and realized there were no ghosts. Everything she'd seen, everything she'd heard, it was all in her head.
Emily blinked in surprise.
It was all in her imagination?
Yes, she'd heard so many stories about the mansion being haunted that her mind played tricks on her. There was nothing in the house, just an old, empty mansion.
I didn't see that coming. I thought they were real ghosts.
Sometimes, the scariest things are the ones we imagine. But in the end, it was all just a story in Lily's head.
I guess it's better being by the fire than in an old spooky mansion.
Much better. No ghosts here. Just the warm fire and us.
Emily smiled, feeling safe by the crackling flames. The spooky story now just a distant memory. We've reached the end of Lily's Halloween adventure. I hope you enjoyed the story as much as I loved sharing it with you. If you're looking for the perfect Halloween costume for your child, visit Gemprints at gemprints.co.uk. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.